Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we'll be talking about how Hollywood may be scouting new talent from YouTube as Gen Z directors are eating the box office. Wait, what? This comes from the success of films like The Backrooms, Obsession, and Iron Lung. The message is loud and clear to Hollywood. They need to stop spending $300 million on the same CGI sludge and let people with new, actual ideas work. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's talk about what is actually going on and why they're even on Hollywood's radar to begin with. So why is Hollywood suddenly interested in YouTubers? Well, right off the bat, anyone can tell that Hollywood is desperate. No, we're running out of ideas desperate. They've been out of ideas for many years now. It seems they are now financially desperate. Movies are bombing left and right, budgets are bloated, audiences are fatigued with the same movies over and over again. Audiences are tired of sequels, prequels, pre-sequels, and whatever the hell Fast and Furious is doing at this point, which is why the success of these Gen Z directors has them both confused and interested. Even with this success, Hollywood is apprehensive when bringing in new talent. For the most part, just a few good movies does not constitute a huge organizational shift. After all, Hollywood elites have these already tight-knit connections with each other, bonding over eating children and the such. So to add in these new Gen Z artists is a risk, a gamble, a needle in the haystack. The unfortunate twist is that these so-called risky creators are making better movies than the people who cost 50 times more. So how are they doing it? Let's break it down. Well, we gotta name the three big examples and why they succeeded. First and foremost, The Backrooms. A teenager, Kane Parsons, armed with a blender and a dream, created a horror universe more immersive, more elusive than almost half the stuff on Netflix. Here's why the film worked. It had a horror analog aesthetic, mystery-driven world building, viral fan theories, I know you guys have seen a ton of those, I myself have, and low-budget creativity, something that the last other two films I will mention have in spades. Second is Iron Lung. Oddly enough, I can't give too information regarding this because I don't know or have ever watched this content, markiplier that is. All I know that he's a famous YouTuber who made a film and the fans loved, and he seems like a really nice guy because he allegedly gave members of the film and crew a bonus since the film has done so well with so little. And finally, Obsession, another example of a creator-driven project that didn't rely on any notable IPs, nostalgia, or some billion-dollar VFX team. The reason it works so well is that it has a strong concept, something I like, not the strongest concept, something I've done before, but I have enjoyed, I think a lot of people have too, tight execution, and a real authentic voice. This horror film didn't really feel like any major horror film studios in my opinion, and I want to divert here and say that I consider this film more thriller suspense. I didn't really get too jump scared, I didn't feel really scared, I just felt slightly uncomfortable. I didn't really feel like I had a fear in my heart or whatever, but I digress. Overall, these films have succeeded because the creators cared more than anything. They actually had passion. It seems that most films nowadays sport little to no passion and seem like copies of one another. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree. If you feel like after walking out of one theater, did you really feel like a brand new experience and maybe you had different thoughts thinking after the fact? Or did you just say, oh, that was good, I felt just as good as I did the last movie I saw? Let me know what you guys think. Now, a critic may intelligently state that their success was mainly due to this cult following and mass audience attendance, and to that I would say, yeah, duh. It's the same exact way Hollywood milks prequels, sequels, and all that such. They love familiar IPs because it makes investors feel safe and warm like a weighted blanket made out of money. YouTube creators, influencers have built massive followings. It's the kind of risk-mitigating fan bases that studios drool over. Now it allows them to think and kind of play out like, oh hey, look, we're caring about unique indie art, but really they're protecting their wallets. And they're not wrong. You can't really blame them. I mean, if you make the greatest film in the world, but nobody ever sees it and the masses don't care, neither does Hollywood. Now that doesn't make the art pointless, far from it. The creator still enjoys it and the work still matters to them. It's just that Hollywood only really notices when the internet has been screaming about it for like a year. Now this new risk mitigation strategy might finally push executives to invest in more original, inexperienced creators. And maybe, just maybe, we're entering into a new era of cinema where remakes, superhero movies, and Star Wars become ornaments instead of the whole tree. An era where new actors, directors, and investors take the risk needed, no, paramount, to making real art. No, that's not a studio pun, that just came out that way. Let me know what you guys think. Will Hollywood start scouting new online talent, or will this just be a small but entertaining blip on the radar? That's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you did. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace out!